The Father and the Conscript, Moral Despair, Emotional Responsibility, and the Invisible Consequences of Choices. The testimony known as The Father and the Conscript, presented in the second part of Heaven and Hell, deeply addresses a human drama marked by despair, emotional guilt, and the extent of moral consequences beyond the individual who suffers. It is a sensitive account that invites responsible reflection on choices made in states of extreme pain and their effects on one's own conscience, and the bonds that connect us to others. In this case, the father, overwhelmed by despair at his son's military conscription, becomes involved in a tragic decision that abruptly interrupts the natural course of life. After the passing, the conscience awakens to the gravity of the choice made, not as external punishment, but as profound moral suffering, fueled by wounded love, a sense of responsibility, and remorse. Modern psychology helps to understand this picture. Extreme threat situations involving children can trigger states of emotional collapse, in which reasoning narrows and the person begins to see only immediate exits to cease the pain. This phenomenon is known as emotional tunnel vision. In these states, the ability to assess long-term consequences is severely compromised. Spiritism clarifies that the suffering experienced by this spirit does not arise from love itself, but from the confusion between loving and controlling another's destiny, as well as from the momentary inability to endure the pain of separation and uncertainty. True love protects, but also respects individual paths and the greater laws of life. After passing, consciousness realizes that the attempt to avoid suffering has only amplified it. The pain that was sought to be ceased does not disappear with the interruption of life, but transforms into more intense moral suffering, now accompanied by heightened lucidity. This realization generates deep regret as the spirit begins to perceive the impact of its decision on the child, on itself, and on the natural process of existence. Contemporary science reinforces this understanding by showing that unresolved emotional pain tends to perpetuate when it is not consciously processed. The abrupt interruption of vital processes does not eliminate psychic suffering. It merely displaces it to another context, where it must be faced without the resources of the physical body. Another central point of this testimony is emotional responsibility. Spiritism shows that the bonds between parents and children are not just biological, but profoundly spiritual. Decisions made in states of despair can generate intense emotional repercussions in these bonds, requiring future processes of repair, understanding, and the reconstruction of affection on more mature bases. It is important to highlight that Spiritism does not present this account to condemn, but to clarify and prevent. The suffering experienced by this spirit is neither eternal nor useless. It exists as long as consciousness still needs to learn to differentiate love from possession, care from despair, and protection from extreme interference. This passage brings a deeply current and human message. Decisions made in states of extreme pain need acceptance, support, and help, not isolation. When suffering seems unbearable, speaking, asking for help, and sharing anguish can prevent irreversible choices. The Father and the Conscript teach us that true love does not eliminate pain by force, but learns to traverse it with courage, support, and trust in the continuity of life. Awareness grows when it learns to endure pain without destroying itself or others. If this testimony has helped you reflect on love, emotional responsibility, and choices in moments of despair, like, share, and leave your comment. Your participation helps this message of care and reflection reach more people.